Wemby's 7th playoff game beat Shaq, Hakeem, Kareem 39 points on 72%. Sit with that line for a second. 39 points, 13 of 18 from the field, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks. The 4th player in NBA history to put up a 35, 15, and 5 line in a playoff game, the first since Shaquille O'Neal in May 2001. 25 years and 2 days. The only one of the 4 to do it shooting 72%. 3 names you know, a 4th 25 years later. The chalkboard has a question. Why now? Why him? Why this week? Let's start with Game 2. 2 days before the line, same Spurs jerseys, same Wolves front court, different chalkboard. San Antonio came home from a Game 1 loss with 1 read on Minnesota. Rudy Gobert was protecting the rim. The Wolves' wings were chasing shooters off the catch. The Spurs' three-point diet was a trap. So they flipped the chalkboard. Game 2 was the first night San Antonio ran what the post-game film labeled perimeter clear sets. Pull the off-ball wings to the corners, vacate the elbows, force Gobert to choose between Wemby at the rim and a corner 3 for a shooter the Wolves had not scouted as a threat. Here is what fell out. Spurs paint scoring, 58 points. Timberwolves paint scoring, 36. Paint advantage, 22 points. Perimeter clear is not a new look. Phoenix runs it for Kevin Durant. Denver runs it for Nikola Jokic. What was new in Game 2 was the commitment. San Antonio ran the look on more than half their half-court possessions. The highest rate they had used it in any game all season, regular season included. The 22-point paint asymmetry was not a Wemby stat line, it was a structural disclosure. The Wolves' help defenders were already 14 feet out of position before Wemby ever touched the ball. Game 3's 39-point night did not start in Game 3, it started 48 hours earlier. The chalkboard cleared the floor. The 7'4" center had not yet shown up to use it. Coach Mitch Johnson decided the Wolves had no answer for the empty side. He went all in. The Game 3 logic was simple. Keep running the same scheme, give Wemby deeper catches. Watch what happens. The runway was built. Now we get to the takeoff. 39 points on 72%. The 4th player ever. That's not Wemby heating up from the perimeter. That's the Spurs chalkboard moving his catches 8 feet from the rim. And in Game 3, the chalkboard added one more wrinkle. Watch the geometry. Wemby's catches stopped happening at the elbow. They started happening at the short corner block, 8 feet from the rim, with no help defender within 5 feet. 2 cross screens did the work. 1 off-ball action pulled Anthony Edwards to the weak side corner. 1 elbow flare dragged Jaden McDaniels above the break. What was left at the rim? Rudy Gobert, alone, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, standing across from a 7'4" center on a clean catch. The shot diet inside that 13 of 18 was not a heat check from 25 feet. It was clean post catches 8 feet from the rim with 1 defender to beat. That is the easiest shot in basketball when you can get to it. The Spurs chalkboard got Wemby to it 18 times. 5 blocks on the same night is the corroborating evidence. Wemby was not playing a fence in the corner waiting for kickouts. He was the rim deterrent at one end and the paint anchor at the other. The chalkboard had him in the same 8-foot zone on both sides of the floor. And the named trio paradox lives in this geometry. Shaq's 35, 15, and 5 in 2001 came against a Lakers team that ran a single coverage scheme. Hakeem Olajuwon's came in 1995 against a Magic interior that gave him post space. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's came in 1977. Different era. Different pace, different shot menu. None of those 3 got the shots Wemby got Friday night, because none of those 3 played in an era where a coaching staff would build an offense around clearing the rim for a center. So put the 4 lines side by side. Wembanyama, May 8th, 2026, 39 points, 13 of 18, 72.2%, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, career playoff game number 7. Shaquille O'Neal, May 6th, 2001, 35 and 15 and 5, on a shooting percentage below 70, the most recent member of the 4-man club before Friday. Hakeem Olajuwon, 1995, 35 and 15 and 5, below 70 from the field. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1977, 35 and 15 and 5, below 70 from the field. 3 Hall of Famers shot below 70% in their version. Wemby is the only one of the 4 who cleared that line. Now here is the part the highlight reels will skip. Volume puts you on the list. Efficiency tells you whether the night was a peak or a floor. Wemby's 72.2% is not a peak, it is a floor that the Spurs' Game 2 scheme made structurally repeatable. Repeatable is the word the steelman cannot survive. A heat check happens once. A scheme-cleared rim happens every time the chalkboard runs the same sets and every time the opponent does not adjust. Then there is the 7th career playoff game number. 3 Hall of Famers had hundreds of playoff games to write a 35, 15, and 5 line. Wemby had 7. The 4 lines look identical on a stat sheet. 3 of them happened on contested catches, 1 happened on a clean rim run. The chalkboard difference is what the percentage measures. The list does not capture the structural difference, the percentage does. So here is the question. Was Game 3 a ceiling, or was Game 3 a floor? The honest steelman, and we have to take it seriously, sounds like this. This is what Wemby is. He is a 22-year-old generational prospect in his 7th playoff game. The 39-point night is a peak. Comparing his line to Shaq's 2001 night ignores that Shaq did it in a finals run. Hakeem did it under tighter rules. Kareem did it as a 5-time MVP. The scheme matters less than the talent matters. Talent puts up 39 on any chalkboard. The problem with that book is the percentage. Talent does not put up 13 of 18 on every chalkboard. Talent gets you on the list. The 72.2% floor is what tells you the list does not capture the structural difference. Wemby's catches were 8 feet from the rim with 1 defender to beat. Shaq's were 8 feet from the rim with 2 defenders in an era before three-point gravity vacated help defenders to the corners. Hakeem's were 10 feet from the rim with help collapsing on every catch. Kareem's were taken under rules that allowed forearm contact and a hand check that does not exist anymore. 4 lines that look identical on a stat sheet, 3 on contested catches, 1 on a clean rim run. So here is the verdict. 3 structural zones. Zone 1, the scheme, the Game 2 paint pivot, empty side, perimeter cleared, help drag to the corners. Zone 2, the geometry, the short corner block catch, 8 feet from the rim with 1 defender to beat. Zone 3, the floor, 13 of 18, 72.2%, the only number on the 4-man list that does not have a Hall of Fame ceiling above it. San Antonio did not run this offense in Game 1. They built it in Game 2 specifically to break a Minnesota interior that has top 5 defensive personnel and 0 answers for empty side gravity. The chalkboard ran the same sets in Game 3 and got cleaner versions of the same catches. 3 names you know. A 4th, 25 years later, shooting better than any of them. The chalkboard built the runway. The 7'4" center cleared it. Game 4 is in Minneapolis, less than 48 hours away, same target center floor where the chalkboard worked. The Wolves get 2 days of film to find a counter to the cross-screen geometry that vacated their help defenders. The Spurs get 2 days to find the next wrinkle in the same scheme. We will see whose pencil moves first. Next episode of Chalk Tactics, we go inside the league's most aggressive switch defense and ask whether what we are watching is repeatable. Until then,